And today is all about from cakes to content and exploring the world of content creation. Let's get into it. Welcome back to another episode of Cheap Cake Lady to Content Creator. If you haven't watched the first episode, that one's about my baking journey and why I changed paths. Go ahead and check that one out so that way you can get a sense of why I went through this transition. When I first discovered that content creation can be an alternative path for me was when I started noticing a lot of bakers, home bakers transitioning themselves from selling cakes, promoting themselves online, showing their cakes, going from that to being recognized, to going viral, to getting opportunity. The one common thing is that they're consistent and they're promoting themselves and showing what they can do. I noticed something else. I noticed that there's three actually cake decorators who I've watched along the way. Way in the beginning when I started, there's a YouTuber cake decorator who is huge. She started YouTube because an opportunity had fell through, and then another opportunity had came by and, told her, hey, let's start a YouTube channel. I'll produce it, blah, blah, blah. And her YouTube channel ended up growing and growing and evolved and all this stuff. But she started from selling cakes. I thought that that was pretty cool. Plus, I admired her work. And there was another artist, same thing, home baker, would sell cakes and things. Ended up creating her own platform to show people how to make cakes. Like she was basically like a painter artist and use that within her cake decorating. So if you're someone who's an artist and can paint and can draw and all that stuff, like just imagine the things you can create with cakes and get paid to do it too. The third one, so the first two were from the beginning of my career. Then the last one was she emerged around 2017. And the one thing about this artist is that she started selling cakes. She enjoyed it. And she was consistent, showing her cakes, promoting herself, and ended up getting recognized. A cake had went viral and opportunities came to her. And she had a blog, still does. She wrote a blog post about how she's a home baker, but like doesn't sell her cakes, right? Like, how does she make money with cakes, but she does not selling them? Putting all this together, right? Noticing that, I noticed a pattern where creators were going from doing something that's not fun, right? Like selling cakes. I'm not saying it's not fun for everyone. It's not fun for a lot of people. Right? There's a lot that is to it, a lot of rules, a lot of, all these things that go with being a home baker and setting all that up. And some people do it flawlessly. For me personally, I knew that I didn't want to sell cakes. I didn't want to keep doing that. And after I realized, all right, I need something different. If you didn't watch part one, watch part one, because I, go into that a little bit. When I sat down and started thinking about what I wanted to do, I was like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and try this content thing. I'm going to go all in with it because if these women are going all in, like with their stuff, then that shows me that it's possible. Like there's something there. Looking back at those women, they share a lot of the same content that they've been sharing since the beginning, right? What they did was they made quality content, and I noticed that as well. There's simple things that you can do to make your videos stand out and look nice, which for me is clutter-free, things are neat. And that way, at any moment in time, you can share it. And so I noticed that, and I noticed the way that they were making their videos. Now, the way that they make their videos are a little bit complex. These women pump out a lot of content. They pumped out a lot of content in the beginning of their journey. So now they are just chilling, probably. Just like repurposing and just, whatever the case is. In the beginning, it's so important. That's another thing that I saw was you have to make the content. You have to post your stuff and you have to be consistent about it. That's another hard thing, right? Because it's like not only do you have to make the content, right? You have to edit it And then if you're a blogger, you write about it, and then you have to promote it in all these different places, right? You want to promote it on Pinterest, you want to promote it on social media, you want to promote it on YouTube. These are all different ways to bring traffic to your blog. All right, so basically that's how I knew light bulb went off for me when I realized, okay, this is a possibility for me to do. And I can focus on it and know that it's not a waste of time. So when I started my blog, prior to that, I sat down in my back patio in Florida and I just would type and I would write and type and just everything that I'm good at, everything that I know and that I can share and that I can everything I've been through, my challenges, what I've overcome, my transformations, like little things that I've done during my cake journey and all that stuff because like I have experience, I have something here, to share. So, it went deep for me. I was like, okay, I would like to have a lifestyle blog and my cake decorating. I started writing about that. I wrote about my marriage, I wrote about being mom, I wrote about that type of stuff, like my life, basically. That it was just like my challenges and just kind of getting people advice because I'm a younger person that's been married for a while and I, had a kid, had one child at the time and stuff. So talking about that. So but it was too much. It was too many things I was writing about and having to split my brain and all that stuff. So I wanted to simplify it and I was like, all right, I'm just going to talk about cake decorating and just teaching people the foundations of cake decorating, the beginner stuff that people struggle with, like smoothing the sides and, making buttercream and stuff like that, all the foundational stuff. And I really wanted to help like other people, right, make their own cakes. Just anyone, even if you're not really a baker, but maybe you're inspired by my cakes. I would just make stuff that I felt like making. I didn't like really make a lot of trendy things. I'm more of the type of content creator, simplify things as easy as possible. I'm not in the business of trying to make the best looking cake or the best of everything. I'm in the business of trying to just get people to be creative, open up new doors for yourself, create opportunities for yourself, basically. It's getting back to why I started cake decorating in the first place. And that was to have fun with it, like, and not like have a care really, and just share, and that's what it is, there's always going to be opportunities for you to sell your cakes. Oh, there's always an opportunity for me to do that. But so some of the challenges for me when starting content creation were figuring out how to start my blog and, getting hosting for my blog, right? That and figuring out WordPress, which is where my blog basically lives. And that's like the back end of my blog where I edit my posts, I create my pages, and I, set it up all nice. That's in WordPress. So figuring that out in order to generate income with that, I need to drive traffic to my blog, which means I need to promote myself, which means I need to make content, a lot of content and share it a lot. So that way people can come to my page. Not only that, you want to make sure that you're using SEO, search engine optimization, which are basically just keywords that people type into Google, right? Think about the things that you're typing to research. How do you bake a cake? Or how do you bake a cake for beginners? That's even more focused, right? So those are the things that creators that create blogs and things, even YouTube videos and stuff that are the titles and the descriptions and all that, and even now in social media posts where you have to have where they encourage you to put all those things in there. Yeah, building an email list, finding the right platform to do this or to do that, or to have just all these things. Another thing is, what to focus on. So like I said, if you don't know what to focus on, at least for a bit, commit to focusing on something, on see how you like that. And then, you evolve to something else and see how you like that. And, that's basically how it goes. Bits and pieces of it you take and you refine it and you create something else out of that. And so that's basically to me how it goes. Definitely want to take advantage of repurposing. And if you're, taking the time, like here, this plain background, getting back to, oh, the one thing that I wanted to say about one of the creators was that the one that I found later on, she is plain Jane, okay? She doesn't wear anything exciting. Everything is about what she's doing. She's put money and time into a good camera, into good lighting and all that stuff. But in the beginning, she didn't have all that. So that's really the only difference. Everything else about her content is the same. Okay. So think about that. So when you're starting out, you don't need all this extra stuff. I'm on my computer right here, natural lighting in my kitchen. I have a light here in my window. And then just try to look presentable. And that makes a difference in your video too. It helps me at least, and I have pajama pants on right now. But you wouldn't know. So just to say how low key I try to make this video like super low key, super comfortable at my kitchen table. Yeah, world of content creation. And it's a big, big world out there. So many opportunities, so much that you can do. Come back next week, and I'm going to be talking more about how I built my content and baking brand. And please subscribe, like, comment, share. See you next time.